And we welcome you to Memphis, Tennessee, the American Conference here on ESPN tonight. Number 8 Oklahoma taking on the Memphis Tigers in hour number 25 of the tip-off marathon. And a scoop shot by Ryan Spangler gets Oklahoma on the board. The number 8 Sooners, who have never defeated Memphis, overall 0-6 all time. So looking to break that skid here tonight on the floor of the FedEx Forum. Shaq Goodwin, one of the veteran guys, one of the few from Memphis. Here's Woodson with a jumper, and he can't knock down the 3. Dave O'Brien alongside Miles Simon. Great to be with him, Miles. An Oklahoma team with very high hopes this season. Straight on by Woodard to knock down a 3.
Yeah, this is a Sooner team that has Final Four written all over it. National championship, national title expectations. They start out in the top 10. They return 4 starters from last year's Sweet 16 team.
No basket there by Avery Woodson. 17:46 to go here in the first half. Jordan Woodard committed the personal foul, but Oklahoma made that great run to the Sweet 16 last year. They went 24-11 under Lon Kruger, and they have 3 senior starters back and a very deep team.
Yeah, they do really. They added some nice pieces. The freshman Rashard Odoms, Jamani McNeese, Christian James, guys that will come off the bench to add some more depth to the Sooners team that they really didn't have last season.
Goodwin trying to bull his way inside. Tough move. Tipped it away. Hield comes away with it. His buddy Hield, the reigning Big 12 player of the year, and stuffed in, but that's going to be offensive interference. So no basket.
Now this is what Coach Josh Pastner was really worried about with this Oklahoma team. Likes to play fast. They're going to get out in transitions. Their bigs are very athletic. Latin and Spangler. You see Spangler running the floor. Obviously the offensive goaltending right there, but Memphis really has to get back, load 5 guys into the painted area, and then fan out.
We may see 21, 22 players appearing in this game tonight. Both sides want to see early on what they have. Memphis has already won one game. That'll be a blocking foul. That'll go against Ryan Spangler, the 6'8 senior. He grew up just 30 minutes from the Oklahoma campus, but he went to Gonzaga when Oklahoma, rather curiously, in the previous regime, failed to recruit him. He came back after 1 year. Said he loved the coaching staff at Gonzaga. It was a long way from Oklahoma, and he was dying to get back home. He's had a terrific career here at Oklahoma since then. Stolen away by Isaiah Cousins, who can be deadly beyond the 3-point line for the Sooners. Here's Hield. Stolen away in the open floor by Crawford. He'll stuff it in.
I spent a lot of time with the Tiger coaching staff and players yesterday at practice. And Markel Crawford, he was looking forward to this assignment of guarding the reigning Big 12 Player of the Year and Buddy Hield. Crawford can match him with the physicality and also with his great athleticism. And you saw the quick hands right there and the finish at the other end.
We're talking to Coach Pastner. He feels they're going to be bouncier and quicker than they have been in the past. Spangler with a misfire and controlled on the baseline by the Tigers. And here comes Memphis. They have 8 freshmen on the roster. Crawford launches. He can't bury the 3. Goodwin tipped it back out. Tarrant with a long one. Got a great look, but off the back iron, and the Sooners will come away with it.
Dave, and as much as we mentioned how fast Oklahoma wants to play, Memphis wants to match that type of pace. They're not going to fear it. They're not going to slow the ball down. You saw the skip, the early 3 right there, the offensive rebound and a kick out. They want to get up and down and have this game played in the 70s and 80s. Buddy Hield with the big-time 3-point shot right there.
And he averaged 17 points a game and led the Big 12 in scoring last season. And that one is tipped off of Memphis. So we'll take a break. Those of you who have been watching on News, College Football Live is coming up. 15:50 to go here in Memphis in the first half. Oklahoma with a 5-point lead on the Tigers.
Cheese it.
Welcome back to one of the great music cities in all the world, and back to the FedEx Forum as Oklahoma leads at 8-3. Both teams a little bit anxious, Miles, because we've seen 12 total shots. 9 of them have been 3-point attempts.
Yeah, both teams really trying to get off from behind the arc early. But you've also seen Memphis try to put the ball on the floor and draw some fouls when they've been on the offensive end on attack mode.
Cousins up top for Hield. Buddy Hield, 17 points a game. One of the best players in the country. He's on many All-America preseason lists. Shot clock's down to 5. Hield on the spin inside the arc. Taken away by Spangler. His second effort. And they'll clear it back out for Cousins. Hield, long distance, and he knocks in a 3.
You hate to see all that work done by the Memphis Tigers there on the defensive end. They locked up Hield and Cousins on the first shot attempt. And then Shaq Goodwin not able to clear the defensive rebound. The best time to shoot a three-point shot is on an offensive board, and they find Buddy Hield for the wide-open shot.
He was very, very calm. Goodwin down on the low block, getting around McNeese, and a nicely done scoop shot there.
I had a chance to talk to Shaq Goodwin yesterday, and he really likes this new offense. It really gives him a lot of space. The offense had been really focused on Austin Nichols over the last couple years, and rightfully so. He's an excellent player.
Rooted on the drive, but draws the foul.
But now with the 4-out, 1 in, you see the spacing. He has some room in the paint. No double team comes. He gives a little bit of a hook right there and gets to the other side with the finish. And then Buddy Hield, the extra pass by Isaiah Cousins to Buddy Hield, who's an excellent three-point shooter over his career, and he's able to knock down his second one of the half.
Ricky Tarrant just picked up his second foul, so the senior has to go to the bench for Memphis. They're really relying on him for leadership and scoring, aren't they?
Yeah, he's big time. He's averaged 14 points a game in his college career. The grad transfer from Alabama, and they need his leadership, his toughness, and his scoring ability. Now they bring in a freshman off the bench in Jeremiah Martin.
Boy, another second effort here for the Sooners. They've been relentless on the glass. Hield trying to get in close, still trying to get in there, and it's knocked out of play. It'll stay on this end. The Sooners will keep it with 14-18 to go in the half. All the new faces, 5 players transferred for Memphis, including Austin Nichols. It was a bit of a shocker in the middle of the summer, very late, as he went to Virginia. He's going to have to sit out a year. Yeah,
really, you know, a curious move for Austin Nichols to leave before his senior year. He had been an all-conference guy. The offense had been run through him the last couple seasons, but Coach Passner really likes this team that he has on the floor now. They can play a little bit faster with Austin Nichols not here, and like I said, the 4-out, 1 in, they'll put the ball on the floor, and they're really going to move the ball offensively now.
Hield getting a little bit of treatment on that elbow where he got nicked. Had a bit of a cut, some blood there, and he's going to step out. And Oklahoma will go to the bench and bring on one of their freshmen, Christian James, out of Houston. The coaches really love his upside. Inbounds pass is tipped, and Goodwin finds it. Up ahead for K.J. Lawson, the freshman, and in for 2. That was a beautiful move.
K.J. Lawson just was a big-time scorer here. Hamilton High School, over 2,200 points in his high school career. There you see some of his versatility, able to handle a ball and finish and go coast to coast.
Well, that foul will go against Oklahoma. Another look at the move as he shredded the defense.
Well, he gets the outlet from Goodwin. Nobody stops the basketball. He's able to change direction a little bit in the air and lay it off the glass nice and soft.
McNeese just picked up his first foul. Jemani McNeese, big freshman for Oklahoma at 6'10". They have a lot of talent off the bench. And Spangler hitting for the bench for Lon Kruger, and Buddy is back in. Reigning Big 12 Player of the Year, and the main reason for Oklahoma's high preseason ranking, number 8 coming into this game. It's their season opener. Burrell getting in close, but lost it. Comes back to the Sooners, and they're on top 11-7. Quickly into the corner. The long jumper will rattle in by James.
And that really has to make Josh Passner upset about that, because substitutions come in the game and nobody talks about who they have in transition, and Christian James knocks down the 3.
James into the lane, trying to go one-on-one. Lawson blocks him. And on the baseline, it'll go back over to Memphis. And a terrific defensive play.
We see the long arms right there by number 1, Dedrick Lawson. Just stays tall, nice and vertical, all ball up top right there. James dribbles that basketball out of bounds, turnover.
You and I were talking about all of the rules changes. 25 rules changes instituted this year to increase the pace of play and reduce the stoppages, provide better balance between the offense and defense. You've seen a slew of games. How do you think it's working so far?
Yeah, I think it's been fairly positive. I think the players and coaches have adapted really well, especially to the hand checking and the freedom of movement. There's been a big emphasis on not moving screens, on screens not being able to move, and also on dribble handoffs, and I think guys have really cleaned it up earlier.
Burrell was denied on the baseline. Both of the Lawsons are in, Dedrick and KJ for Memphis. And a terrific move in close by Cousins. He'll draw the foul and go to the line, the senior. And a closer look now. Of course, the shot clock is getting a lot of attention, but when you talk to coaches, they don't think that's that big a deal.
No, I don't think it's really influenced the game too much. I mean, if they would have put it down to the NBA and the International at 24, it probably really changes it. But 30 seconds, not a huge difference, not a great impact so far. The one at the bottom there, the flopping, the faking a foul.
Yes.
I've yet to see that in a game. I'm sure it'll happen at some point this year. It's almost as if they're going to get penalized with a technical foul if it's deemed that a guy is flopping or faking a foul. And I can't wait to see that one come into play at some point.
All right, Cousins back to the line, his second shot, and that'll drop in, but they're going to wave that off, a lane violation on Oklahoma. Dante Buford stepping in, and back onto the court now will be Dingell Walker, a 6'1" senior. Memphis has missed their last 4 field goal attempts. This was a major problem for Josh Pastner's team last year, especially beyond the 3-point line where they hit less than 33%.
Yeah, they really need to improve in that part of the game. And Ricky Tarrant, Avery Whitson, those are 2 of the guys that are really relying on to make 3-point shots. Neither on the floor right now.
Just spreading the floor right now. In close is Martin, but it won't drop. Lawson will draw the foul. Dedrick Lawson at 6'9", the McDonald's All-American. He could really be a handful. McNeese with a personal foul. What a night of college hoops we have for you from the United Center in Chicago tonight on ESPN at 7:30. The first game of the State Farm Champions Classic between number 2 Kentucky and number 5 Duke. And then at 10, it's Kansas ranked 4th and number 13 Michigan State. And also the college football playoff top 25 will be revealed. I think Alabama should be number 1.
Alabama should be. They've been dominant over the last couple of weeks. Derrick Henry has put himself in the forefront for the Heisman race right now. And Buddy Hield getting some more treatment there, probably for some blood or scratch on his arm.
Yeah, they've wrapped that a couple of different times, testing out the shot. So far shooting it pretty well, so it does not appear to be affected there. So Dedrick Lawson at the line. He and his brother KJ led Memphis Hamilton High School to a state title. And now trying to revive things here for the Memphis Tigers. One of the 8 freshmen on this roster.
And that's been a point of emphasis for Coach Pastner and his staff, is recruiting guys who win. The Lawson brothers are used to it. Also, Jeremiah Martin won a state title. Markel Crawford won one at Melrose High School. Because it becomes a mentality and kind of a mindset, and they get upset by losing because they're not used to losing at the high school level, and they continue that at the college level. Can be a positive thing for the program.
Hield way downtown, can't find the range there. Lawson with another rebound. He scored 13 in his college debut on Saturday. 8 points in the first 5 minutes. So, yeah, he looked like he was ready. Goodwin with a catch, but misfires in close.
I'd like to see Goodwin take a little power dribble right there. Bang bodies with Spangler, get a little closer to the rim.
Coaches have been raving about the work he did this summer. Oklahoma with the ball. Returning 4 starters from the team that began the season ranked in the top 10. Here they are at number 8. In heavy traffic, James denied. A shutdown by Memphis. KJ Lawson trying to make a move on Buford, and he stayed right there defensively.
See, I don't like that play. That's a forced shot right there. That's a bad possession there by KJ Lawson, and it costs you 2 points at the other end. He had nowhere to go, a lot of traffic in the paint area. He's got to move that basketball if you don't have numbers.
Buddy Hield racing down to score. Lawson with a nice dish for Goodwin. Man, did he thread the needle.
Much better. I love that. Avoided the charge, came to a little bit of a jump stop, and a nice little flip pass to the wide open Shaq Goodwin.
KJ is the less heralded of the Lawsons, but he is 1 year older. Goodwin picks off the rebound. He scored over 2,000 points in his high school career. And here he is trying to get in close. Blocked out of the sky by Buford. Here's Martin, the lefty. Off target with a 3. Another effort, though, by the Tigers as Dedrick Lawson, relentless under there, draws the foul. So we have a timeout with 10:52 to go in the half. Oklahoma with a 6-point lead on Memphis.
Meet Sal. He's more than the fastest salami slicer.
The Sooners have won 12 consecutive season openers. They're in front early here, 16-10 over Memphis. And 4 starters have come back for Lon Kruger's Sooners team. 4 returning starters, and 3 of them are seniors. That includes Buddy Hield, the reigning Big 12 Player of the Year. Last 3 seasons under Kruger, Oklahoma has 67 wins, and 3 NCAA tournaments. They were very disappointed when they were knocked out in the Sweet 16. They thought they should have gone deeper.
Yeah, and I got a chance to talk to Buddy Hield about that today, and this team is using that as a motivating factor. The fact that they didn't win the Big 12 and they lost to Kansas by 1 game in league play, and they felt they gave a couple away. And then in the NCAA tournament, they felt that they were Final Four good. And with this core coming back, this is a team that has those aspirations and can achieve that. And I think one of the biggest keys is going to be the point guard, Jordan Woodard. He only shot 25% from the 3 last year. If he can become a more consistent shooter from behind the arc, it really opens things up for Spangler on the inside and for Hield and Cousins to do some work on the perimeter.
Yeah, Woodard's on pace to finish in the top 3 in assists all time at Oklahoma. Dedrick Lawson at the line. He was last year's Tennessee Gatorade Player of the Year. As you mentioned, should be a high school senior, but Lawson reclassified to come to Memphis and play with his brother KJ.
And you see that number 1 that he wears. He played for maybe the most famous player in Memphis Fast Tiger history, Penny Hardaway, Team Penny for AAU basketball.
Yep.
A mentor of his and his brothers. And also he has 2 younger brothers that will be playing for Penny Hardaway.
Memphis has made just 1 of their last 9 shots. Martin denied outside the 3. Here's Goodwin.
He's got to go to work. I don't like that shot.
Too strong. Tough rebound in traffic. And Lawson has really been a force under the glass in the early minutes tonight.
He's relentless. He knows how to carve out space down low. About 70% of basketball shot will be rebounded on the opposite side. And there the travel by Rashard Odoms.
A freshman turns it over in the lane.
But you see, that's Shaq Goodwin settling. He should be able to bang bodies against Spangler. And then Lawson just being active on the weak side. He has long arms. You wouldn't say he's a great athlete, but he has a high basketball IQ, and he understands positioning and angles on the floor.
Using it very well. 5 rebounds early on. So Memphis has closed the gap, now down by 3, approaching the 10-minute mark here in the first half. Dedrick Lawson on the high post. On the attack. And a foul. No basket. They're going to wave that off. The foul on the floor before the shot.
And of all the rules that got changed in college basketball, this is one that also needs to be amended. If they want more scoring, there should be more continuations. Because right here, look, the drive, here's the contact. What else was he doing besides going to shoot the basketball? He didn't go pass. He's going straight up.
That should count.
That should be an and one, not a 1-and-1. There should be more continuations in college basketball. Too many fouls are called on the floor when a guy is going into his act of shooting.
Kadeem Lattin, a 6'9" sophomore, with his 2nd foul, so he's in some trouble for Lon Kruger. 10:05 to go in the half. Oklahoma is picked to finish 2nd in the Big 12 by the league's coaches, behind Bill Self's juggernaut at Kansas. But if you talk to the Oklahoma players, they're not thinking that way. They believe they have the talent to overtake Kansas. Right now, a 7-0 run for Memphis, and a foul will go the other way. That'll go against C.J. Cole, a senior for the Sooners. And now the Tigers with a chance to take the lead.
I'd go right back to isolate Dedrick Lawson at the high post at the elbow area.
He scored their last 5 points. And here he is at the foul line, bouncing for Goodwin.
That's the switch you want.
Sweeping to his right, left it short. Guess who for the rebound? Dedrick Lawson off the fake. That won't drop it. The tip is up and in. Boy, he's everywhere right now.
Great set run there by the Tigers. And then persistence on the offensive glass.
Being led back by their youth and the big freshman and a hometown kid. Cole thought about it. Sooners need Buddy Hield right here.
It's got to be Hield or Cousins in this situation.
And a foul against Memphis, trying to contain Hield. That'll go against Dedrick Lawson. That's his 2nd. You're seeing a lot more fouls called high out beyond the perimeter, aren't you?
Yeah, because you're really in front of the officials, and if anytime you're going to put your hands or almost your body on the offensive player, it's going to be a quick whistle there. Quick whistle this year.
So Oklahoma looking to retake the lead already with 8 fouls on the attack. Cousins airborne, tough bank shot for 2.
Cousins has been one of the most improved players in the Big 12 over the last couple of years. Here's a guy that puts in a lot of work in the gym. He went from a 25% three-point shooter as a freshman to 45% last year as a junior.
Yeah, led the league, led the Big 12 at 45%. Goodwin bottled up trying to get free, lost it for a moment. A wild play, but a shove in the paint will go against Oklahoma. That'll go against C.J. Cole, his second. Memphis already with 1 win. They defeated Southern Miss in their season opener here on Saturday, 67-49. This is game number 1 for the Sooners.
Dave, talking to Shaq Goodwin after practice yesterday, I asked him what really changed for him when his inside partner Austin Nichols decided to leave in the middle of summer. He said, I had to become an instant leader and communicating, telling his teammates messages, and he hopes that they'll listen. He said sometimes they don't, but he's going to keep talking to them and try to be a great leader. And he learned from guys like Tarek Black and DJ Stephens in his early years as a Memphis Tiger, and he's hoping to implement a lot of his knowledge and wisdom and his experience with this young team also.
And Josh Pastner thinks he should be a double-double guy. Spangler, hard drive, lost it. He simply lost it out of play as Goodwin was all over him defensively. Oklahoma by 1.
And here's Goodwin. Opens up a little bit too much. Spangler just kind of lost that basketball. Should have been an easy lay-in for Spangler.
Oklahoma with their 8th turnover. Miles Simon, Dave O'Brien with it here from FedEx Forum. The crowd will continue to gather. This was a 4 o'clock local tip. So not everybody has made it yet. And maybe a few will start to make their way into the arena from Beale Street in just a little bit.
Still some work to do around the city right now.
Indeed. 8:21 to go in the half. Memphis with the basketball. Near steal there by Hield. Martin with a stumble. Bouncing here for Crawford. Crawford wants to get in close for 2.
What a move. That's almost how Shaq Goodwin should be doing it. He took the body contact and then a beautiful step through.
Well, Cousins just lost it. Here come the Tigers now. Lawson gives it up. Martin swings it here for Burrell. Got a great look. Big rebound underneath by Marshall, but slapped away by Oklahoma. And the Tigers will have it when we come back from the timeout. A surge here for the young Memphis team. Up by 1 over the 8th ranked team in the country.
You're watching ESPN's Tip-Off Marathon, presented by Constant Contact.
We welcome you back here to Memphis. The American Conference here on ESPN. Memphis taking on the Oklahoma Sooners. Miles Simon and Dave O'Brien with you. 7:53 to go. Our tip-off marathon presented by Constant Contact, now in its 25th hour. Take a look at the Oklahoma Sooners home and road. Very dominant at home in Norman, but 10-10 on the road, and a 40% shooting team.
Yeah, big difference obviously with the way that they played. They were really comfortable in the confines of their home arena there in Norman. Went on the road, but anytime you're playing a lot of games in the you're playing 9 road games in the Big 12, you're going to lose probably half of those games because those are some of the toughest places to play in all of college basketball.
The fans very excited back at Oklahoma. They've sold out all their student season tickets. And it's going to be a 5-second violation to not get it in time.
And you hate to see that out of a timeout. Martin was wide open from the start for Crawford. Once you didn't have the first and second option, just throw that ball in the backcourt to Martin down the floor so you can get back into your offense.
So the Sooners down by 1 with the ball here. Here's Cousins.
One thing you've seen a lot from the Sooners tonight is Isaiah Cousins handling the ball as the point guard. Woodard, the normal point guard, playing a lot of off the ball tonight.
Cousins beyond the 3, does not mind it out there one bit. On a hard drive though, and it'll roll off the iron. Lawson with the rebound. Burrell with an open lane to the basket. Man, did he attack?
The staff says that he is obviously one of the most talented players on this team. Can score in bunches, athleticism, and there you see it was on display.
13-2 run for the Tigers. Hield sweeping in with a spin shot.
Tough. Got to the rim, something he really worked on ball handling and being a better finisher at the rim this year. And there you see both of those facets in one possession.
Bill Self loves him too, saying he's terrific. We recruited Buddy at Kansas. I can't remember who he took instead. It was a bad miss. I loved his sense of humor about it, but I think he was also half serious.
Well, he's a young man that went to high school at Sunrise Christian Academy in Kansas.
Martin bouncing on the baseline. Crawford on the line, but it's knocked out of play off of Oklahoma.
Well, you see the defensive rebound cleared out right there by K.J. Lawson. The outlet to Tristan Burrell, and able to just step through and get a nice finger roll at the rim and finish.
Jeremiah Martin throws it away. Hield being bumped by Crawford with the left hand, draws the foul. No basket. Hield will be at the line to shoot a pair. And a very good foul shooter at 82%. Markel Crawford picks up the first foul. With 6.5 minutes to go here before halftime in Memphis.
I mentioned it earlier what a gym rat Buddy Hield and Isaiah Cousins are. And Lon Kruger's coach says that when you have your best players as the guys that live in the gym the most, it really rubs off on the rest of the team, and guys kind of just follow that lead and spend more time in the gym working out, getting better, building chemistry. And it's really going to help this Oklahoma team, especially when they get into Big 12 play.
Last year's Big 12 Player of the Year. He's the pick to win it again this year. Preseason All-American according to Associated Press, and he's on a bunch of other preseason All-America lists.
Yeah, and he was a guy that considered going into the draft this past year. Thought better of it, wanted to come back, didn't like where he was projected, felt that he can improve. And also, he's a Sooner through and through. He really wants to put this university on another level, and if he can get them to a Final Four or even win the Big 12 and end Kansas's streak, I mean, he'll go down as arguably maybe one of the best players in Oklahoma history. I think he'll go down as that already, but he can really cement his reputation.
Very, very good in the classroom as well. Missing on that second foul shot.
He's one of those guys we just have to celebrate in college basketball. The biggest smile when you walk in the gym, comes over and shakes everyone's hand. Mr. Personality.
I haven't met many folks who hail from the Bahamas who aren't smiling all the time. Into the corner, Burrell got a great look. It won't fall for him. There's a shove in the lane on Oklahoma, trying to contain K.J. Lawson, who had great position for a rebound.
Both the Lawson brothers just seem to have a great knack for the basketball.
Really do.
And be in the right position on both ends of the floor.
Cousins with the foul. So KJ to the line. His father, Keelan Lawson, was hired as a Memphis assistant coach in 2014. Wanted to play with his brother Diedrich here. And there are more Lawsons on the way. They are certainly the first family of Memphis basketball.
Yeah, the mom, Deidre, she's 6 feet 2 inches tall. That's where you see a lot of the size, obviously. And then they got two younger brothers coming up through the ranks, Chandler and Jonathan, the next two, and could possibly be wearing Memphis Tigers uniforms sometime in the near future.
Real dynasty here basketball-wise in the city of Memphis with that one family. Woodard trying to penetrate to his right. That'll roll in.
And that's where he's best. Getting to the paint, finishing at the rim. Really gets to the foul, led the team in free throws attempted and makes last year.
It was fourth in the Big 12 in foul shots. Crawford did a teardrop and hung on the iron and tipped out of play. It'll stay on this end with 5:43 to go in a half. And Oklahoma with the 1-point lead over Memphis. Sooners very, very deep. They have Wisconsin coming up on November 29th, Villanova on December 7th. And they'll open up Big 12 play against Iowa State on January 2nd. Out it comes back to the Sooners. Hield, quick shot. He drains it a three-pointer. That's a 5-point swing.
Yeah, you missed the dunk on the tip-in. Shaq Goodwin actually missed an easy opportunity also. And then in transition, nobody recovers for Burrell, and Buddy Hield makes him pay. And this is going to be an intentional foul, breakaway foul. Nobody in front right there.
Boy, it ought to be, because there was a tug on the jersey there. No question about that. And that is exactly what Lon Kruger is screaming about right now, as you see this 5-point swing, as Hill got the great three-point look.
And right there on that three-point look, Shaq Goodwin has to realize Buddy Hield is out there behind the arc. Let somebody else cover up for him for Spangler. But Lon Kruger cannot believe that this foul call, I mean, it was a blatant grab of the shorts by Burrell on the Buddy Hield.
So 5:15 to go. They will not call that. You and I both saw that. Woodard on the baseline. Spangler reverses for two.
Great footwork. Good patience right there. Too much penetration being allowed by the Tigers right now late here in the first half.
Burrell back up top for Tarrant. He'll swing it.
Passman taking a chance with the senior Tarrant back in the game with 2 fouls.
Goodwin on the high post, slapped away, and Heel will get hit for the personal as he went for the theft. Oklahoma's opened it up 28-22 this week on NBA Wednesday, presented by State Farm. The Pelicans taking on OKC. Anthony Davis and Russell Westbrook leading their teams at 8. Then at 10:30, Jimmy Butler and the Bulls take on Eric Bledsoe and the Suns. Both games are also streaming live on Watch ESPN. So it's Goodwin to the line where he scuffles a bit, 64% for the senior from Atlanta. And Heel going to the bench for a breather right now. 5 points so far. And that'll be it for Goodwin to this point. 28-23 Oklahoma.
Same play. High pick, looking to drop it off or kick it back.
Buford cut there for James and a foul. He gets hit by Goodwin on the way up, so he'll be shooting a pair.
And that's some of the influence that Lon Kruger has from the NBA. If they haven't stopped the play, you keep running that again. So they scored on that set last time with the penetration and the drop off to Spangler. This time they run it again. They get the high pick and roll. They throw it back. They're in a rotation situation. They kick it for one extra pass and are able to get to the foul line.
Now you bring up Lon Kruger's experience in the NBA with the Atlanta Hawks and also an assistant with the New York Knicks. Kind of gets lost in the shuffle of all the success he's had at the college level. This is his 30th year as a head coach. 561 victories, but he took that trip to the NBA, and he doesn't regret that for a minute.
No, I think it's a great learning experience. I mean, because NBA, it's just basketball, basketball, basketball all the time, and you can really pick the minds and the brains of some of the greatest coaches in all of basketball in the NBA, and I think that's a great learning experience. And you know what young kids want to hear in recruiting? That you can help them get to the NBA.
Yeah, you know a few people. Lawson back for Tarrant, long distance. Yes, oh net, he bottomed out that three.
That's one of the things this Tiger team will need from Tarrant. He's a big-time scorer. Cousins trying to answer right away.
Boy, did he. Way downtown.
Well, Whitson kind of just backed it up, and you can't let a guy like Isaiah Cousins, a 45% three-point shooter, just walk into a college three.
Dedrick Lawson. Woodson, a catch and a shot. Yes! Another triple. This is an area Memphis struggled in so mightily a year ago. This is an indication they might be a whole lot better beyond that three-point line. They have cut the lead to 33-29 inside 4 minutes to go in the first half.
ESPN's exclusive presentation of college basketball is brought to you by Farmers Insurance. Get smarter at farmers.com.
The more you learn about
College Football Playoff Top 25, all live from Chicago tonight on ESPN.
On his town, in Chicago, that's Mike Ditka. Love that. Kentucky, Duke, Kansas, and Michigan State. Look at all the titles. Every one of these guys has won at least one national title. That's 25 Final Fours between these four great coaches.
Some truly amazing basketball minds, and I know you spent some time around Mike Krzyzewski calling ACC games the last few years. I've had a chance to be around Bill Self calling some Big 12 games, and these guys are phenomenal coaches, great motivators. They get their kids to play hard, and they produce at the highest level. And tonight should be no different.
Got a chance to spend time with all those guys. I try and listen. Just sit there and listen and absorb as much of it as possible. Woodard airborne, left it way short. It never got to the iron. Shot clock continues to roll, now down to 11. For the second effort, Cousins will set it up now for Oklahoma. He'll want the long-distance shot. That's too strong. Knocked away to Memphis. And Burrell bumped it to hit by Woodard. He commits the foul. Ricky Tarrant, 6'2" senior, got hit there. So 3:23 to go. And Oklahoma on top 33-29.
This young man's going to be the most important piece if the Memphis Tigers are going to have a successful season. He averaged 14.5 points per game over his career. He's an over 30% three-point shooter. But most importantly, he can dictate the tempo of a game. He likes to play fast. He's an unselfish passer. He's a willing passer. He's a good enough scorer and three-point shooter to add another dimension to this team, and he brings a plethora of experience to this roster.
Yeah, Tulane, before he went to Alabama, he scored over 1,000 points there. James, the freshman, will back it away. He's out of Houston. Looking for some help now. Spangler, the senior. To the rookie, who wants to drive it. Goodwin got there, partially deflected that, and knocked it out of play. 3 seconds on the shot clock here.
Memphis doing a really good job of packing the lane, playing a pack line defense and trying to force some tough twos and take away a three-point shot.
Cousins looking to bounce it in. Gets it in for James on the baseline, jumping into the lane. Oh, a tough shot right in front of the shot clock buzzer.
Beautiful play and great recognition by the freshman James. Excellent jump stop, avoided the charge, and then with the sweet finish.
Lawson, undaunted, in for 2. Well, he's going to be a lot to handle.
Yeah, he's tough. He's efficient. He has versatility, and if he can add a consistent three-point shot to his game, and Cousins with the answer on the other end.
Well, Isaiah Cousins has done that a couple of times. Tarrant into the lane. He scooped it up and in. A very tough shot. We've seen some shot making here in the first half on both sides. Approaching 2 minutes to go before the break, and a tight one. Oklahoma ranked number 8 in the country. Buford with a 3, and it's in. Boy, it's stuck on the iron.
He missed it so good it went in, because he shot that thing off the crack of the backboard and the back of the rim.
Yeah,
and got a roll.
Not sure how it went down, but this 7 out of 13 from 3. Way downtown, Avery Woodson, and that's his game.
That is his game, and that's what he has to bring to the table. And the biggest thing he did was got in better shape this summer. Dropped 15 pounds so he can get up and down the floor more efficiently and continually have his legs into his shot.
A foul before the shot, but back to that pick and pop.
Well, Woodard does a good job. Lawson plays his part. Nobody stunts on the weak side, and that has to be Woodson just to bluff at Buford, and then the Woodard falls down, and Woodson makes him pay.
So Cousins to the line, where he's 65%. And you'd expect a guy who's such an outstanding three-point shooter to be better at the line, wouldn't you?
Yeah, you would.
Tarrant, tough angle, lost his footing. So now it's 5 on 4. Cousins trying to hurry it up. Here's James with a long one. Spangler up and in as he tipped it in beautifully for 2. Ryan Spangler, the senior from Bridge Creek, Oklahoma, with the basket. 42-37, the Sooners.
They missed Shaq Goodwin on the duck in right there.
Lawson took a little bump. No whistle there. Follows his own miss. A dribble down. Swatted away by Spangler from behind. So the Sooners deny on the interior. A minute to go before halftime. Great fake by Woodard to get free, but can't connect. Dedrick Lawson has had an outstanding half. He'll draw the foul and be at the line to shoot a pair.
Dave, I really love the tempo and the pace of this game. It's been a lot of back and forth, up and down action. Neither of these coaches really try to control their teams by calling a set call, slowing it down. They kind of just let their guys play. They've taught them the offense in the preseason during the summertime, and now it's time to let these guys do what they do best, get out there, play, make some plays.
Buford with the foul. And coming up at halftime, join Reese Davis, Seth Greenberg, and Jay Williams for the Jeep Halftime Report. They preview the Champions Classic from the United Center in Chicago. We cannot wait to see that. We want to see the rest of our game, but then we want to see both of those games tonight. Going to be outstanding.
Yeah, it really is. Duke is filling in some new pieces this year. Grayson Allen kind of picking up where he left off. He's averaging 27 points per game. For Kentucky, looking forward to seeing Jamal Murray, Scal, Labissiere had 26 points last game.
Love how you pronounce that. Timeout. By the way, Dedrick Lawson already closing in on a double-double at 12 and 9. Timeout, Oklahoma.
Gentlemen.
Well, it's been a fun half. Not quite over yet. 50 seconds to go before halftime. Oklahoma started out quick, fell behind, surged back into the lead on top 42-38 over the young Memphis Tigers.
Yeah, the Tigers have hung tough, and you and I talked about it before the game. Memphis didn't want to be playing uphill the whole game. They didn't want to get down 8 or 10 to this very experienced Oklahoma team. They've kept battling. They missed some shots early, got on a nice little run, and kept this thing within striking distance.
So Lawson back to the line, the freshman. and a local product from the city of Memphis. They have 5 kids from the city. This has always been a basketball-rich town.
It really has been, and it's something that the Memphis staff really hones in on, trying to keep the best players home and playing for the Tigers.
Sooners to set it up. Walker with the left hand. Goodwin came out to guard him and shut him down. In the open floor. Here it is. Crawford to lay it in. 1-point game. Well, the crowd is alive here inside FedEx Forum. The loudest they have been so far tonight. The hometown team within 1. 10 on the shot clock here for the Sooners. Cousins. Got airborne, threw it away. Time to get off a heave here. Martin slicing in at the buzzer. Can't get it to go. No foul. And we're at halftime with Oklahoma suddenly clinging to a 1-point lead. Hield and Lawson have been the big stories so far. 14 points for Buddy. Diedrich with 13 and also 8 rebounds for the freshman. He had an outstanding first half. We're at the break. Oklahoma by 1 over Memphis as we send it to the studio for the Jeep halftime report with Reese Davis, Seth Greenberg, and Jay Williams.
Watching ESPN's Tip-Off Marathon, presented by Constant Contact.
You're watching the American Conference on ESPN. Beautiful shot there. Sunset over the Arkansas Bridge here in Memphis. And tonight from FedEx Forum, the score at halftime, Oklahoma 42 and Memphis 41. Dave O'Brien, Miles Simon with you. All part of our tip-off marathon. And Miles, a very entertaining first half. We knew that we would get a really good-looking first half out of Buddy Hield, but Diedrich Lawson showed up big time, the freshman from Memphis.
Lawson was tremendous, and he really brought a great energy to this team. He was a monster on the glass, especially the offensive end, where he had 6 offensive rebounds, went to the line 10 times. You see him just carving out space between 3 Oklahoma Sooners defenders right there, gets the offensive glass. Here he's persistent. He out-jumps the Oklahoma post guys there, then has the touch, stays with it, gets the little tap in, now attacking the basket, the nice finish, and that's where he really flourishes in the paint area. And then Buddy Hield, the preseason All-American, got it going early and often, knocking down 3 of 4 from behind the arc. He had 14 points, slicing to the basket, much more efficient. He kind of really let the game come to him. That was something he spoke to us about before the game, just being more efficient this year and not forcing the action.
Looks like a senior, doesn't he? Well, look at the field goal shooting so far in the first half. And Oklahoma at 46% lit it up late. 7 out of 15 beyond the 3-point line. On the glass, Memphis had a slight edge there. A lot of good second efforts by their big people underneath. And again, it's a Memphis team kind of reworking its look. They're a little bit quicker, a little bit bouncier. And the pace of both sides really liked it. As we are now into our 26th hour of the tip-off marathon. Ready for the second half, and the Tigers will check it in here at home. But the crowd really came to life in the last few minutes of that first half.
If I'm the Tigers, I try to go to Diedrich Lawson here on this first possession.
Well, here he is underneath, trying to get it free for Goodwin. Knocked out free to Woodard.
Goodwin really having trouble finishing tonight. Now 2 for 8 from the field. He has to take that up much stronger and go with some force through the chest of Spangler.
Spangler tried to keep it alive, but it's off his fingertips and out of play. Back over to the Tigers. Oklahoma coming in ranked number 8 in the country. Under Lon Kruger now in his 30th year as a head coach. In his 5th year at Oklahoma, he's certainly been a program fixer in his career, and he's done it again for the Sooners. In the 2 years combined before he arrived on the campus in Norman, they had won 27 games. Last year alone, they won 24. Spangler outside. Here's Cousins. Spangler off the fake. Now around Goodwin, and no basket. about the third time in this game we've seen a foul on the floor, but a made basket after it.
And that's the same thing we talked about earlier in the game. There should be more continuation. Spangler wasn't doing anything else but going to shoot this basketball. The drive, there's the contact, and he's going through it on his arm. That should be an and one. That's something really they should look at in the offseason for the NCAA if they really want to boost some scoring.
Hield can't find the mark early in the second half. Foul, by the way, was on Goodwin, his second. Lawson coming off a tremendous first half. Not there for him.
I don't like it. He's been effective.
All that scoring back, too. Spangler's one of those guys. The layup won't drop for him. And a third effort now. Hield all day to shoot it and drains the three.
That same thing happened in the first half. There was a missed shot, an offensive rebound, a kick out, an extra pass, and a Buddy Hield three.
17 for him. The follow away good for Woodson. If he gets it cranking, he can really knock down those triples.
Woodson, a 37% three-point shooter. He was at the gym at 8 a.m. in the morning yesterday with assistant coach Damon Sotomayor getting some extra work in.
Oh, Hield went for the stuff, but it glances off the iron. Memphis trying to retake the lead. Dedrick Lawson gives it up. Here's Woodson again, and a foul.
Well, one of the best times, Dave, to shoot a three-point shot is when the team is in scramble mode off an offensive rebound. There, the offensive rebound. Woodard has his eyes up. Hield relocates to the corner, and then gets some dap from his teammates.
4 out of 6 beyond the three-point line. Oklahoma, the 1-point lead here on the road in their season opener. Hield with a spin. Found the mark. He knocks down a tough shot.
He's just a really good scorer because that was excellent defense. They had loaded up. They took away the paint, took away the drive, and he hit a tough little 10-footer.
Woodson backing beyond the three. Crawford trying to negotiate in closer, but a double dribble. So he'll turn it over.
And here's Buddy Hield. This is just an isolation play. Get him at the top of the key. Mano-a-mano. Gets a little spin. Good help there by Tarrant and Goodwin. But Buddy Hield just a little bit better.
Hield 5th in made threes all time at Oklahoma, so he can go beyond that arc and kill you there. But also obviously in the lane with his quickness. Spangler on a high post. On a hard drive. Knocked out of his hands, and it comes free to Memphis.
Ron Kruger very upset at the officials right there that no foul was called.
Tarrant tipped up and in, and a foul as well. Terrific job by K.J. Lawson flying down the lane.
Dave, we talked about it in the first half. The Lawsons just have a natural feel and a knack to be around the basketball. They're active, they're energetic, they have long arms. And I wouldn't say they're overly athletic, but they're very efficient in what they do. They don't give up on the play. Tarrant with the drive. K.J. Lawson plays every shot as if it's a miss, goes and follows it up, and gets the and one and going to the line now to try to finish the three-point play.
That's number 3 on Kadeem Latin, incidentally, the 6'9" sophomore from Houston. So he is in deep, deep trouble. One of the starters for Oklahoma. And Memphis with an opportunity to tie here in the early minutes of the second half at FedEx Forum, and they do as K.J. Lawson knocks it in.
Now Memphis with no true back-to-the-basket player in the game. They've ultimately gone smaller. They're a little bit longer, but they have 5 guys that can put it on the floor right now for the Tigers. We'll see how Oklahoma defends it with Spangler and McNeese on the floor.
Woodard, the point guard. Gives it up for Cousins. You know, he wants to shoot it if he's beyond that three-point line. McNeese with a difficult angle. Bounced on the iron twice. Another second effort for Oklahoma. The follow-away shot won't drop in, and a whistle. Woodard with a misfire, but a foul is on the deck. And they're going to get Dedrick Lawson for that one. That's going to be his 4th foul. So he is coming out with a ton of time remaining, 16-21.
Well, right there, no block out, just a slice on the weak side by Spangler. He gets inside of Lawson, and I don't really see the foul on that play. I mean, he didn't really go over the back. They were kind of straight up battling for the basketball. Probably should have been just a possession to the Sooners.
Well, before he sat down, the youngster slammed his right hand on a cushion of that chair. Cousins trying to get inside. Woodard scoops it for 2, and he went down hard. A foul on the play. He's in some pain, though. He really hit with a thud. Jordan Woodard with a difficult drive, the 6-foot junior from Arcadia, Oklahoma. But he's back up on his feet.
The dribble drive action by the Sooners has been effective pretty much all evening. And they run these dribble handoffs right there, and they come off, and they get going downhill. And he just gets undercut a little bit there by K.J. Lawson at the last second. Woodard did take a big fall, and there was a huge thump.
Up to shoot foul shot. Number 1 knocks that down. The one he gets, 50-47. He has 8 points along with 6 rebounds. So Oklahoma on top, 50-47.
With Dedrick Lawson out of the game, Shaq Goodwin, the senior, really needs to step up on the offensive end.
He's been pretty quiet so far. K.J. Lawson with his brother on the bench.
The offense is really stagnant. They're trying to run a little flex action into down screens.
Burrell can't get inside. Here's Lawson's jumper, but that missed badly. Hield with the rebound. The Sooners trying to attack. Cousins, the jumper, too strong. Goodwin with the rebound. Memphis trying to get a little bit closer. Burrell lost the handle on it and is out of play off Oklahoma. They say Buddy Hield got a finger on it.
Buddy Hield has got the Oklahoma Sooners off to a great start here. Spotting up for 3, takes his time, knocks it down. And then one more time for good measure. The isolation, the spin, and the soft touch.
Pelicans Thunder at 8, Bulls Suns at 10.
ESPN Tip-Off Marathon presented by Constant Contact. Oklahoma ranked number 8 with a 50-47 lead over Memphis, playing in Memphis tonight. Tigers 1-0. The Sooners playing in their season opener, and they have never defeated Memphis. 0-6 all time against the Tigers. Memphis with the basketball. Ricky Tarrant on the low block. Here's Burrell for 2.
I like to play a little cross screen out of the timeout, off the baseline, out of bounds. You get Burrell, one of your most effective scorers, 6'7" in the post, and he goes to a nice soft jump hook.
Hield has 19 points to lead all scorers. Spangler on Goodwin. Pretty good matchup here downstairs. Hield on the dribble, gave it up. And now tied up on the play. That was with 8 on the shot clock. Possession arrow will keep it on this end.
And Ricky Tarrant is hurt.
Now he is writhing in pain right now. He was down in the scrum. And right now in agony. Looks like he's clutching at the back of that left knee. So the senior out of Birmingham, Alabama, who,
and here's Tarrant right there,
got hurt here in some agony.
And he got rolled up on just kind of like an offensive lineman in football as Buddy Hield went for that loose ball. Ricky Tarrant just kind of in the wrong place at the wrong time. And you see the knee buckle. Now you hope that the only thing that happened is that he just kind of banged it on the floor as he did at the last second there before he went down. But he's in some serious pain, it looks like.
And a man in Memphis is really relying on to score for them this season, because they lost so many key pieces from a season ago. Almost like a house cleaning for the Tigers. We've talked about top scorer Austin Nichols, who transferred to Virginia, up on his feet. So a good sign for Tarrant. Nick King went to Alabama. Pookie Powell went to LaSalle.
A really positive sign that he's able to walk off the court.
Indeed it is.
Without any help.
Headed for the locker room nonetheless. So out he comes.
So now a bit of an adjustment for the Tigers. Now you rely on the freshman Jeremiah Martin, who gave him solid minutes in the first half. Remember, Tarrant had 2 early fouls, and he spent a majority of the first half on the bench. And Martin gave him good minutes.
Cousins got it in. Difficult shot for 2, and a foul as well on the play as McNeese came in and delivered. And a foul will go against K.J. Lawson, his second.
Well, poor communication between K.J. Lawson and Jeremiah Martin, two freshmen right there. They didn't know if they were going to switch that last screen. McNeese slips to the basket. Lawson tries to recover and commits the foul.
And a three-point play for McNeese, the big freshman. So the lead back up to 4 for the Sooners.
So what adjustments do the Tigers make? Dedrick Lawson, who's been their best player throughout the game, is on the bench with 4 fouls. And then their senior point guard, Ricky Tarrant, went to the locker room with an injury.
Goodwin up there amongst the trees. Got it back for Lawson. Tipped out for the Sooners, and they'll control it. Cousins will set up a play. Spangler up high. Here's Hield. Shot clock down to 10 for the Sooners. McNeese trying to bounce around, and he commits a traveling violation.
And that's Ryan Spangler's fault. He gave it to McNeese in a position that McNeese is not comfortable being in at the elbow. He's kind of a drive and drop it off to him, finish around the basket type of guy. He's not going to make too many plays off of 1 or 2 dribbles. And Lon Kruger actually looked at Spangler, was like, what are you doing?
Burrell in close off the fake. That was beautifully done. Right on the baseline for 2. 2-point game.
Burrell was a big-time scorer at the JUCO level, 25 points per game at Lee College.
Long distance, too strong by Woodard. Rebound comes out high to the Tigers. They want to push the tempo. The three-pointer off target there by Woodson. And back over to the Sooners it goes.
And here you go, Burrell right there at 6'7", using that long athletic frame, the beautiful jump stop. That gives you a lot of control. The defender flies by, and then the soft touch from 4 or 5 feet.
Cousins, one of the seniors, on the wing, finds Spangler up against Goodwin here. Trying to get inside the lane, and Goodwin will reach in and commit the personal. So 13-15 to go, and that's going to be number 3 on Shaq Goodwin.
Well, those are 2 big bodies banging down low right there. 2 former high school football players. Shaq Goodwin played tight end and wide receiver. Ryan Spangler was actually a big-time quarterback in high school.
Yeah, 71 touchdown passes.
7,000 yards he threw for.
Man.
Go right back to him. See if the refs are going to give him another call.
And another foul on the play, and they're going to get Goodwin again. That's going to be number 4. But you called it before it happened.
Well, they're trying to clean up the physical play, and I don't know about this call as much as the last one. Here's Spangler. I mean, there's a little bit of contact, but that wasn't enough right there. That wasn't enough.
So Spangler to go to the line with 13:07 to go. Lawson with 4 and Goodwin with 4. Both of them 6'9", and both of them now on the bench.
Spangler, really an interesting story. We mentioned the football prowess. His dad, Larry, was a high school football coach, and his mom, Leanne, had never missed a game. And 22 some odd years ago, Ryan Spangler was born in the morning time. That evening, his dad had a high school football game. Leanne made sure she didn't miss that game as her and Ryan sat in the parking lot, and he was a 12-hour newborn baby.
Isn't that amazing? That's what you call commitment.
Imagine if you tried to take your newborn baby out of the hospital 12 hours
now
after they were born. Now.
I'm sorry. McNeese with his 3rd foul, incidentally. So it goes back over to Memphis. Also with 3 points. Oklahoma with a 3-point lead.
And how about the toughness of the mom? You deliver Ryan Spangler.
Oh, yeah.
And I can't imagine he was a small baby.
No.
And then you show up to the football stadium like 12 hours later.
He's grown to be 6'8". He was not a small baby. Jumper by Heel. In and out. A 3-pointer. It was in the cylinder and kicked out. And good to see Tarrant back on the bench for Memphis. Lawson leaning in close. And that's going to be an offensive foul. So he commits the personal. K.J. Lawson with the foul. That's his 3rd.
I think that's a pretty good call. Spangler gets out of the white arc right there, the 4-foot restricted area, moved out one more foot than it had been in the previous couple seasons. Spangler gets his feet set before Lawson is going into his upward motion.
One of many rules changes. Another one that has caused some coaches some confusion. You can't call a timeout when the ball is live. It has to be dead. As Cousins lifts and connects from 3.
Tigers go zone defense that possession. Oklahoma moves the ball really well, and they find their best three-point shooter as Cousins, in a catch-and-shoot situation, extends the lead to 6.
Tarrant back in. Long distance. That jump shot will rattle in by Woodson. So he cuts it back to 3. And a timeout on the court. 11:59 to go here in the second half. Memphis takes the timeout.
The Sooners, patented ball movement. A lot of guys touching it. Nice swing. Isaiah Cousins with the three-point bomb. And then on the other end, Memphis with the answer, keeping it close within 3 at the FedEx Forum.
And Michigan State, kind of the battle of the recruiting classes, the current classes. Duke is number 1 overall, Kentucky number 2.
Yeah, amazing players that you're going to see. Check Diallo is not going to be playing for Kansas tonight, but Carlton Braddock is excellent. And you watch this guy, Deontay Davis, big-time athlete, shot blocker for Michigan State. He'll be a factor in the paint in that game against the Kansas Jayhawks. He had 13, 11, and 5 blocks in his opening game.
And 4 of the great coaching minds in college basketball, I think, frankly, in all of sport, going head-to-head tonight. Spangler on the wing. He's been very active here in the second half. Hield to drive it, and in for 2. He has 21. Buddy Hield, a senior from Freeport, Bahamas, lighting it up. He's had a big night. He's going to have a lot of them. Spangler came over to defend, but he's going to commit the foul with 11.5 minutes to go. Foul will go against Spangler, and that'll be his second. Another timeout. 59-54 Oklahoma. In Memphis, Oklahoma, the 59-54 lead over the Tigers. And Miles, take us inside the play.
Well, this is a great play out of a timeout by Lon Kruger and the Sooners. This was exploiting a mismatch. Right here, you see Buddy Hield coming out to set an on-ball screen. That's something you don't normally see because you have your 5-man Ryan Spangler running the side pick and roll. Right here, they get Memphis to switch. Now you have Nick Marshall, a freshman, at 6'11". He's too slow to keep up with Buddy Hield on a drive. The mismatch is created, and then the easy finish for the reigning Big 12 Player of the Year. Great job and execution by the Oklahoma Sooners.
It has been said before, it's tough to keep up with Buddy Hield. It's going to be said many times this season. He has 21.
It really is. And the thing I noticed tonight, I called about 4 or 5 Sooners games last year, and he used this word at shoot-around today. He wanted to be more efficient. Last season, he seemed at times to force the action, wanted to get his offense going by himself, but now he's kind of playing everything within the flow of the offense, finding his rhythm, making the extra pass, getting his shot when the offense allows him to get it. And there's going to be times this year where it's going to be a tight game at Hilton Coliseum or, you know, at Fog Allen Fieldhouse, where he's going to have to go and get his in a close game because he'll be the best player on the floor. But tonight, I really like how he's conducting himself on the offensive end.
Martin made 1 of 2, 4-point game.
Same play.
Spangler kicks it. Woodard to the lane, to the left hand, and it rolls off the iron, but it's up and in by Dante Buford.
Dave, and I said it in the first half, Lon Kruger, NBA experience. When a play works one time, you run it again until they stop it. This time they went to a different option. Memphis switched again. They found Jordan Woodard on the wing. Now the penetration off the mismatch, and then that leaves offensive rebounding opportunities as Buford is able to clean it up.
Jordan Woodard for Oklahoma just picked up his 3rd foul. Buford with 5 points, 3 rebounds. So the freshman from Greenville, South Carolina, has made an impact coming in for the Sooners here in the second half.
So right now on the offensive end for the Tigers, where's the answer going to come from? Burrell's had a nice second half. Tarrant, we know, can score the basketball. Woodson's hit a few threes, but who's going to be a guy that's able to step up?
Woodson, an impossible angle. Can't get it to drop. Tarrant, by the way, back on the floor for Memphis. A very good sign. A sloppy pass off the hand of Hield and out of play.
And Cousins didn't need to make that pass. There was 3 Memphis Tigers that hadn't crossed half court yet because they had fallen down or went to the offensive glass. It was a great transition opportunity, a 4-on-2. They should have kept attacking to the basket.
Dedrick Lawson now back on the floor. He's been out of the game since the 16-21 mark. The game was tied at 47 at that point, so they have missed him. Blocked from behind. Terrific job there, and Buford comes away with it.
Now let's see what Oklahoma runs on the offensive end. Do they go to the same set call with Spangler and Hield? You try to get Dedrick Lawson his 5th foul. Little zone defense by the Tigers.
Cousins setting it up. I think you're going to see a lot more zone by coaches who traditionally don't play it very much this year because of the shot clock, don't you think?
Yeah, I think you can see it just trying to slow it up and have a change of pace.
Second effort, Hield, and alley-oop, and not going to count. It did not get up there in time. A shot clock violation for Oklahoma.
And to your point, Dave, right there, when they came down in the zone, Oklahoma had a man set called. And there you see that they throw it up, didn't beat the clock. But just the 5 or 6 seconds it took them to get in the zone offense helped cause the shot clock violation.
Puts it on the drive. Knocked out of play. They'll keep it. Under 10 minutes to go here in Memphis. 61-55 Oklahoma. And again trying to beat the Tigers for the first time in their history. 0-6 all time. Haven't played them in a while, since 07. Lawson back in the game. He had an outstanding first half. He's been riding the bench because of foul trouble. Long distance. The shot won't fall for Woodson. Second effort. Lawson draws the foul. He'll go back to the line. And when he's been in the game, whenever he's around the iron, he's making something happen.
That's his 7th offensive rebound of the game. That's tremendous for a freshman who's giving up some pounds inside to Spangler. He's been banging with him, getting position, slicing. He just has a tremendous feel for the game. Coach Pastner described that he has maybe the highest basketball IQ on the team.
Spangler with his 3rd foul. So Lawson connects. He'll have another one coming.
You know, he doesn't wow you with the athleticism. He's not playing necessarily above the rim, but he's so efficient and he just gets things done.
At 6'9", though, he's around the rim. 61-57. Crowd coming back into it here inside the Forum. Sooners in times like this usually turn to this man, Hield. Jump pass for Cousins. Can't nail it. Spangler with a big rebound. Tough traffic. He's denied. And the Tigers want to run. Tarrant. Woodson straight on from 3. Spangler high up for another board. And now the senior will slow things down. He and Cousins are roommates. And a couple of gym rats for Oklahoma. Hield again for Cousins. Shot clock at 10 now for the Sooners. Down to 5. Long range. That clangs away for Cousins. Lawson to the right hand. Can't scoop it in. Torn away by Buford. 8.5 to go. 61-57 Sooners.
Well, let's see what Oklahoma can get. They haven't been necessarily too effective against this zone defense, and Lon Kruger trying to organize his crew right now. Yes, 4 3-point shooters. Spangler more than capable of knocking it down from behind the arc also.
KJ Lawson getting ready to check back in and join his brother. 5 to shoot it again. James off the fake. To his left. Great job by Lawson to stay home. Tarrant with a bounce on the attack. Stepped in. Burrow, the senior, down the lane. And it's a 2-point game.
Lon Kruger might need to get a timeout just to get the zone offense situation going for the Sooner team. It's been very stagnant. Taking too long to get into it.
Hield. Great give. Spangler on a reverse for 2. Terrific pass.
How about senior to senior? When you needed it most.
Lawson will attempt a 3. How about that? The 6'9" rookie drains it. And now it's a 1-point game. I'm not sure what he can't do.
He's showing it all tonight.
Hield looking to answer, and a foul. 7:17 left. Oklahoma leading by 1. Crawford will get hit with a foul.
Great vision right here by the point guard, Ricky Tarrant. Finds the trailing Burrell for the big-time throwdown, and the Memphis Tigers keeping it tight. And then Dedrick Lawson doing it all with the knockdown three-point shot.
Great night of college basketball coming your way from the United Center, Chicago tonight. 7:30, the State Farm Champions Classic. Number 2 Kentucky and number 5 Duke, and then at 10, number 4 Kansas battles number 13 Michigan State. And also the college football playoff top 25 is revealed. And here's Kentucky and Duke. What they've lost, what they have.
Well, both of those programs just obviously reloading year after year. Kentucky, we know they lost the number 1 pick, and all those 4 lottery picks, Trey Lyles, Devin Booker, and Willie Cauley-Stein. Jaleel Okafor gone, but some great new faces have arrived on campus for these teams. Jamal Murray, Scal, Lebisier, one of my favorite names to say. He has a great Twitter handle, One Big Haitian.
Yes.
Grayson Allen been tremendous. Brandon Ingram, and speaking of freshmen, that's kind of flying under the radar, but he won't after tonight. Dedrick Lawson has been tremendous.
18 and 12. That one rolls away, though, for Buddy Hield. He's a very good foul shooter at 82%. A 1-point Oklahoma lead. He has 21.
Well, with the foul trouble that the Tigers had, Coach Passer made a nice adjustment going to the zone defense. His 1-1-3 zone defense. They've been Oklahoma 1 for 6 in the last 3.5 minutes. Most of those against that zone defense.
So that adjustment from Josh Pastner has paid off. A 2-point lead for the Sooners. Tarrant, who twisted that knee rather gruesomely just minutes ago, has bounced back quickly. Woodson tried to drive it, denied there. James sticking to him, shot clock at 12. Tarrant with a bounce feed. Here's Dedrick Lawson stepping in, spinning it up, tipped it, missed it, and lost it. Hield to go quickly. He gave it away. Crawford slams it. Memphis has tied it. Boy, they can go quick.
They did a great job of their transition defense first, loading up, getting the stop and the steal, and then converting on the other end.
They want to play faster, and they're doing it. And they've tied the game at 64. Spangler's pass tipped and stolen away by Memphis. Bounce feed for Woodson over the top. Crawford again. And the Tigers have the lead. And Oklahoma needs a timeout. Markel Crawford has taken to the sky. And the turnovers have played a very big role.
Well, Hield just out of control on this possession 2 times ago. Didn't have anywhere to go. It was 3-on-3 break, and then the Tigers make him finish with Crawford with the big-time dunk. Getting up in the air high and throwing it down hard. And then the next possession, Spangler, the deflection by Lawson with the long arms. And as good as Oklahoma is going one way on the offensive end, very poor transition defense. Easy 3-on-1, 4-on-1, and the Memphis Tigers have the place rocking right now late in this game.
Oklahoma unaccustomed to seeing Buddy Hield make such a poor play. And Memphis with a 7-1 run in the last 1 minute and 17 seconds. And their crowd is alive here inside FedEx Forum. They have surged into the lead. The Sooners in their season opener. This is game number 2 for Memphis. They're 1-0 coming in. But a very young Tiger team with 8 freshmen.
I'm surprised to not see Isaiah Cousins on the floor right now for the Sooners. Here comes a lob.
Put it over the top and stuffed in by Hield.
Great call out of the timeout. They get the back screen actions to Buddy Hield, and then the perfect pass by Woodard.
Lawson again. Moments ago, he hit a long distance 3, but not this time. Tied at 66. Hield on a crossover. Try to bounce it inside. And a whistle on the play. A foul, 5:36 to go. And Crawford with the personal.
Well, he received the draw for the alley-oop with possession to go. Here you see Buddy Hield right here. He's going to receive back screens by his post guys right here to free him up for that lob play. Jordan Woodard delivers it perfectly on the money as Buford sets the beautiful back screen to free his partner, Buddy Hield.
24 points for Hield at the line to shoot 2. With about 5.5 remaining here, and drops in number 1. The senior from the Bahamas is the pair. So it's the Sooners by 2 again. Isaiah Cousins back on. James will step aside, the freshman. To Lon Kruger's bench. Lon Kruger taking Florida to the Final Four. Kansas State to the Elite 8. UNLV and Oklahoma to the Sweet 16. And an outstanding career. And now has the Sooners in the top 10 to start this season, but in a real dogfight here in game number 1.
Well, this is where Oklahoma got better last season. They were 3rd in the country in half-court field goal percentage defense, only trailing Virginia and Kentucky. If they can keep the Tigers out of transition, but they'll give up the offensive rebound, which they've been doing consistently all night.
And Crawford with the fall away to retie it at 68. He has 12.
Here comes the ball screen.
Hield around the screen. Here's Cousins to let fly. He buries it, a three-pointer. Again, 45% last year. Burrell taking to the sky for 2. Well, that's a quick start.
Yeah, Lon Kruger can't be happy with that. You get a wide open 3, and then you give up a layup in less than 5 seconds on the other end. For a team as experienced as Oklahoma, that should never happen.
Both of these teams want to go. Hield with a kick out. For his roommate Cousins, back to Hield. A battle for the rebound, and the Tigers have it with a chance to take the lead back. With 4.5 minutes to go here in Memphis. Goodwin back inside, banging, can't drop it in. Lawson does. He has had a tremendous game.
He's all over the place. The perimeter, active hands on the defensive end, and he's a monster on the offensive glass.
20 and 14 for the freshman. Woodard lost the handle on it. It comes back to Lawson. Memphis by 1, 72-71. Josh Pastner just turned 38, calling out the play. Cross court, long distance. It comes free to Hield. Hield into the lane with a quick step. Knocked away by Goodwin. Crawford bumped and fouled on the play. Hield is also down on the knee on the other end. And slow to rise, Isaiah Cousins just picked up his second foul. Hield is up, but a little gimpy.
ESPN's exclusive presentation of college basketball is brought to you by Constant Contact, helping small businesses and nonprofits become marketers.
Can't wait for that one tonight. Duke and Kentucky. Meanwhile, back here in Memphis, the Tigers have jumped into the lead 72-71. You think there was a foul moments ago, though?
It was absolutely a foul. And they've talked about in this all season cleaning up contact in the game. That's the 5th foul on Dedrick Lawson right there. He turns his hip into Buddy Hield. There have been calls in this game that have had less contact than that, and a foul has been given. Don't swallow your whistle because there's 3.5 minutes left in the game. That was clearly a foul. Buddy Hield should have been going to the line for 2.
Dedrick Lawson had an outstanding game, just his second college game, 20 and 15. And his team is up by 1 against the number 8th ranked team in the country. Crawford to back it away and now ask for some movement. Crawford's also had a terrific second half for the Tigers. Carrot on the drive and a foul. With 3:16 to go. And tonight, after the Champions Classic, stick around for SportsCenter. These guys are the best in the business. John Anderson, John Buchagras will have you covered in the midnight hour, followed by Neil and Nicole on the left coast. SportsCenter at night. Tonight, after Kansas Michigan State on ESPN, streaming live on Watch ESPN. So Tarrant will be at the line. Woodard just picked up his 4th foul. Tarrant an 80% foul shooter.
Tarrant's really been gutting it out this second half. When he went down and got rolled up by Buddy Hield, he's still been dipping around a little bit in the first half, but he's not showing it too much. And now they're imploring the crowd to get on their feet. There's a lot of length on the wings of this Memphis zone. They can cover a lot of ground.
This equals the biggest lead of the night for Memphis. This 3-point advantage. The follow away by Hield, short. Batted off the rim by Buford and up and in for Oklahoma. Man on the spot was Jordan Woodard for 2. And it's a 1-point game.
One of the weaknesses of the zone, obviously, you can give up offensive rebounding. They're spread out too far, and Jordan Woodard, right place, right time.
Goodwin to his left. Tried the scoop shot, draws the foul. He'll be at the line. Not always a great thing for Shaq Goodwin because he's only a 64% foul shooter. Senior from Atlanta. Fouled by Spangler. That's his 4th. So a lot of people in some trouble foul-wise on the floor right now. Goodwin to shoot.
I really think Shaq Goodwin's going to have a monster season and a first-team all-conference type of year. Capable of averaging a double-double. He finished the season really strong last year. Actually had 23 points, 23 rebounds against Temple in an AAC game.
He also had 22 against Cincinnati. He had some huge rebounding games.
I know tonight he hasn't really finished around the rim, but I think he'll continue to get better at that as the season goes along.
He misses them both, though. So Memphis still by 1.
I think Spangler needs to be more active in this zone. Make himself presentable.
Hield trying to drive it. Lost the handle, and he gave it away. Well, it's happened a couple of times in the second half for Buddy, where he's kicked it away.
Well, he gets a nice drive, but then the active hands there can't corral that one, and then it's off his leg.
He's had a big night with 26 points, but they need more. Memphis last win against the top 10 team was March 1 of 14 against Louisville. The layup won't drop. Tarrant got a great look, but could not convert. Coming up on 2 minutes to go. Oklahoma wants the lead back.
I'd love to see Spangler in the high post area. They just keep hiding him along the baseline. He's an excellent passer and can drive and shoot from that area.
Woodard got a look, but a foul on the play. That was with 9 on the shot clock. 74-73 Memphis. Tarrant with his 3rd foul for the Tigers. 1:48 to play. And so Oklahoma to be shooting. Woodard at the line. 84%. He was number 4 in the Big 12 last season in foul shooting. He has 10. Give him 11. And this game is tied again at 74.
And this is an offensive for defensive substitution right here. Crawford comes out of the game. Avery Woodson, who's made 3 3-pointers tonight, made 4 3-pointers tonight, comes in for the offensive possession.
He makes the pair. The Sooners by 1. 6 ties, 9 lead changes in this one. And a timeout, Memphis. 1:44 to go. And the Sooners now on top, 75-74. All right, tip-off marathon in his 27th hour. Well, Kentucky will be taking on Duke, and the freshman with one of the great names in all of sport, Skal Labissière, will be on display tonight from Chicago. Oklahoma with a 75-74 advantage over Memphis. Josh Pastner wanted that timeout. What does he set up here?
I think you have to get something going to Dedrick Lawson. I believe you try to get him at the elbow, facing the basket, spread the floor for him, give him a driving lane, let him try to operate, draw a foul, or get an offensive rebound put back.
Oklahoma 2 timeouts remaining. Memphis has 1. And the Tigers have the possession arrow. As we come down the stretch here at the FedEx Forum. Dave O'Brien, Miles Simon with you. Goodwin came up, set the screen. Lawson on a determined drive.
Now, they didn't put him at the elbow, but they gave him freedom of reign to handle that basketball. And there you see the versatility. They put him and Shaq Goodwin in the high ball screen.
What a game for the freshman. 22 points, 15 rebounds over the top. Spangler with a stop. Boy, it worked that play to perfection.
Yeah, they really love the high ball screen against this zone defense. Woodard able to turn that corner.
Lawson again from way downtown. I know you're not in love with that shot, but saved over to Goodwin. The Tigers come away with it. Approaching 1 minute to go. Woodson with a three. Woodard picks the rebound, and the Sooners have it at a 1-point advantage inside a minute to go.
And the reason I didn't love the Lawson shot, it's not that he can't make it, but he's been so effective in the paint and driving the basketball. Not one Oklahoma Sooner has been able to stay in front of him all night.
12 on the shot clock for Oklahoma. You know, Hield will get a touch. Cousins glances up. Gives it up here. Long one for Woodard, and he drills it. A huge three for the Sooners. And now they lead it by 4. 80-76. Lawson trying to step in. 25 seconds to go. Way downtown. That won't fall for Tarrant. Burrell back up. Can't hit it. Rebound tip and a foul as Goodwin is pushed from behind with 19 seconds to go.
And this is just excellent offense. The clock winding down. Burrell just helps a little bit too much as Jordan Woodard rotates behind him. He kind of shakes up, and Burrell at 6'7", too late on the closeout. And Jordan Woodard knocks down the big-time three.
Well, he has 15 points. And the biggest shot of the night for sure as Goodwin's back to the line. Just 5 points. 19.3 seconds. He's shooting a 1-and-1. And they need him to make them, which is not his forte. KJ Lawson back on, and his brother Diedrich heads to the bench.
Now, make or miss, you obviously expect full court pressure from the Tigers. You want to foul Isaiah Cousins, might be the worst foul shooter, and Buford, who also hasn't been in this situation before in his college career.
Well, he makes the first one to cut it to 3. Another one coming for Shaq Goodwin.
As best as the Tigers can, keep it out of Woodard, Hield, or Spangler's hands.
A huge one here for Shaq Goodwin. He makes the pair. So it's a 2-point game. 80-78.
Now this is going to be a full court diamond press.
And a timeout. So Oklahoma takes the timeout with 19.3 to go. Buddy Hield did not shoot it the last time down, but he's made some giant shots for the Sooners here on the road tonight.
He's really been effective, and when they needed him the most, he has come through in the clutch. This was early in the second half. That got Oklahoma going a little bit on a roll off an offensive rebound. There, the isolation, the penetration here on the mismatch exposes Nick Marshall as he drives right by him and gets the finish. There on the defensive end now, making an impact with 2 blocked shots. Buddy Hield been all over the place, showing why he is a preseason first-team All-American pick.
He's also a very good rebounding guard. He has half a dozen in this one, 9 out of 19 shooting it. Oklahoma has hit their three-pointers by and large. They're 11 out of 26.
Yeah, Oklahoma, an excellent three-point shooting team. They get it to the guys that can do it the best. Hield, Cousins, Woodard is much improved over last season. Even Christian James knocked down some shots in the first half.
Well, this is a bit of an appetizer. It's been a marvelous basketball game, but still to come, the State Farm Champions Classic from Chicago, Kentucky and Duke and Kansas and Michigan State. That's all tonight, beginning at 7:30 with game 1 between Kentucky and the defending national champion Duke Blue Devils.
But really, how fun has this game been? I mean, up and down, 80-78, a lot of great action. We're seeing a star in the making in Diedrich Lawson. We're already seeing a college star prove himself once again in Buddy Hield. And let's see how this plays out in the last 19 seconds.
Oklahoma against the pressure. In for Hield. No foul. Hield breaks it. Running precious seconds off the clock to 14 seconds to go before they foul him.
And I like the fact that Lon Kruger had Isaiah Cousins take that basketball out of bounds. He's sure-handed. He's a good passer. And it also takes one of your worst foul shooters out of the equation to catch the ball on the first pass.
Buddy Hield, of course, one of the better ones for the Sooners. So he'll be at the line to shoot 2. Foul in against Burrell, the senior. Hield tonight 4 out of 6. So 26 points and counting for the senior, the reigning Big 12 Player of the Year and the preseason pick to win it again. 14 seconds to go, and he drops in the first very calmly. So now 3-point game. Goodwin is coming back on for Memphis, and so is the 3-point man Woodson.
Now Memphis practiced end of game situations for about 5 or 6 minutes today. And they're going to run. They're going to try to get maybe a dribble handoff right into a 3-point shot if possible, or something going to the basket to drive and kick out for a 3.
Number 2 coming for Hield. And makes the pair. 82-78 Oklahoma. So 4-point advantage with 14 seconds to play.
And I expect to see light pressure here from Oklahoma just to kind of slow them up and take some time off the clock.
Dedrick Lawson will put it in for the Tigers. Hield, by the way, with 28 points to lead all scorers. Burrell across midcourt. Lawson, and foul while shooting 3. How about that mistake? In the act of attempting a 3, Cousins, a senior of all people, commits the foul.
And you see Lawson just dribbling up, Cousins guarding him, has his hands right there. He reaches, and I know he felt he got all ball, but just get your hands up and contest the 3. That's not a smart play by the senior. Get your hands out of the cookie jar right there.
So 3 shots for Lawson, the freshman, with 7.8 seconds. And can't hit the first one. Well, it's rather shocking when you see a senior, a very smart player, make a mistake like that.
Now a decision has to be made by Lawson and the Memphis Tigers staff. He needs to obviously make this free throw. And then do you decide, do you have enough time? Now he missed out. He needs to make the next one to cut it to a 1-possession game.
His dad not happy. And, I mean, that's the face of a dad there, isn't it?
That is.
Well, his third one is coming. 3 substitutions now for Memphis as Martin comes on along with Crawford and also KJ Lawson. Goodwin, not a good foul shooter, heads to the bench. And Dedrick Lawson has missed the first 2. And misses them all. How about that? And what a break for Oklahoma. Another foul to stop the clock at 6.7 seconds. And a lot of the fans are heading for the exits now here at the FedEx Forum. Keelan Lawson, one of the assistant coaches for Memphis, who has 2 more very talented sons in the pipeline, so to speak.
Well, this Memphis Tiger team showed a lot of grit, a lot of toughness tonight. They went through some adversity. Dedrick Lawson in foul trouble. Shaq Goodwin in foul trouble. Durant goes down with a knee injury for a little while. Pastner kind of maintained the rhythm and brought in different guys, stepped up and made shots. Burrell off the bench was excellent. Avery Woodson knocking down some 3s. I think Memphis is a team that's going to surprise a lot of people this year. Many people were down on because they lost their best player. But you can see this team will definitely impress.
And they said goodbye to 7 players, brought in 8 freshmen. And gave Oklahoma just about all they could handle until the final stages.
And then you give a lot of credit to this Oklahoma team. When Memphis made their run and had the crowd going against them, Buddy Hield, Isaiah Cousins, Spangler, those guys stepped up to the plate and made some plays.
Hield with 30 points in this one and did the job at the foul line as well. 8 out of 10 at the line, and a lot of those here in the final seconds to open up an 84-78 lead over Memphis. A 30-point game for the reigning Big 12 Player of the Year, Buddy Hield, a senior. And Oklahoma with now a comfortable lead here in the last seconds in Memphis. Dave O'Brien and Miles Simon with you. Oklahoma, the number 8 ranked team in the country. They're expecting to go a long way. They went a long way in the tournament last year. They were a Sweet 16 team. They want to go even deeper.
Yeah, they have the pieces. Jordan Woodard, you can see he's much improved. You see he has more confidence in his three-point shot. I think you know what you're going to get from Buddy Hield night in and night out. He showed that tonight with the big game. Isaiah Cousins continues to be a force on the defensive end. He can knock down threes. He's now becoming more of a playmaker. The biggest question marks are going to be, what are they going to get from the bench? Rashard Odoms, Jamuni McNeese, Christian James, Dante Buford. Can those guys contribute on a consistent basis, be effective on the defensive end, and give them some production on the offensive end will be a key.
I think both of these teams have impressive depth. Long pass for Lawson. The long one on the way by Randall is off the backboard. Final seconds ticking away, and Oklahoma has won it. Buddy Hield leading the way with a 30-point game, and that's the first win ever for Oklahoma over Memphis. First win in their history. 84-78 is the final. Stay tuned. The journey to the tourney continues. Kentucky and Duke in a dandy. Right now, we're going to send it to Chicago. For my partner, Miles Simon, I'm Dave O'Brien. We send it to Reese Davis, Jay Billis, Seth Greenberg, and Jay Williams.